Just a second ago, Peter was there, right in front of Logan. It was only a brief moment, but after he checked his scanner, when he looked up, no one was there. He had disappeared entirely. Seeing something so dangerous as to potentially be anywhere in the room with him was starting to make even Logan nervous. He no longer had any sticky light balls to shoot out, and his suit only produced enough light for him to be able to see a few meters in front of him. Peter could see as clear as day down here. They were unfavorable odds, and Logan started to curse himself, thinking about how he ever got himself into this type of situation. Before he nearly did anything, in the past, he always thought of the probability of something happening, the risk he would put himself in before taking action. If the odds seemed against him, he would never take the risk. But when he saw Peter writhing in pain and the others there, Logan reacted on instinct, moving him out of the area. A sharp, sudden sound was heard to his right, and a blast was shot from his blaster in an instant. The explosion had only managed to hit the strange black material, which was as strong as always, causing no rubble or stone to break off, but leaving a peculiar smell from the blaster. "I don't want to hurt you, Peter. Suppose I hit you now before you've eaten anything. There's a good chance you can't heal," Logan said calmly. His voice was full of confidence, but inside his mind he was panicking a little. Although Logan's reaction time wasn't beyond that of what a human being was capable of, he was still quite confident in his ability to hit something before it was able to move. Logan was pretty confident he would be able to hit nearly all the students at the school, apart from those with either high-level beast gear or speed-related abilities. But in the attack he just fired right now, he couldn't even see Peter or even an after-image. "I guess you do suit up to be an assassin, but it isn't the time to test it on me," Logan said. As he said those words, groans could be heard once again in a specific direction. When Logan looked at where they were coming from, he could see Peter knelt on the floor, holding his stomach. "Logan, just leave me! I don't think it's safe! Go now!" Peter shouted. Ever since Peter had evolved into a wight, his whole demeanor and attitude had changed. The others thought the old Peter was completely gone, lost, but that wasn't true at all. Peter still had feelings, he still had worries, and inside he was still scared as always. There were times when these old feelings and demeanor would show more than others, and one of these times was when he spent time with Logan. He didn't know why, but the others seemed to treat the new Peter differently compared to Logan. It felt like Logan didn't care what he was and never found it strange, the way the new Peter acted. While with the others he could always feel that they felt different, like the Peter they were talking to wasn't the same before. It hurt Peter inside, especially since he knew he was still the same person. One of these people whom he could tell felt this way was Quinn, someone who he considered close. He could see every time Quinn looked at him. It was different from the way he looked at Peter before. It wasn't in a bad way, but it was one of sadness. "Will I never be good enough?" Peter thought. He wasn't back then, and he wasn't now. The only person who he was not good enough for was Logan, and even now, Logan had tried to help him multiple times. If there was one person he would do everything in his power not to eat or hurt, it was Logan. For a moment, Peter was able to fight back his hunger, but in return, he could feel painful pangs in his body. As he looked up at where Logan was before, he could see he had already run off. "Good, you listened," Peter said. He wasn't hurt this time. Seeing Logan run off to save himself, he had already done enough. The pain continued, and Peter honestly wondered if he was going to die. Although he could have let the hunger take over and his body run wild, he wanted to remain in control of his body for as long as possible. Then the sound of footsteps was heard, echoing through, as if someone was running towards them through one of the tunnels. No, if it's another person, I'll attack them as soon as I see them," said Peter. "Stay away! Turn back!" Peter shouted down the tunnel. But the footsteps grew only louder as the person was getting closer. Then, in the darkness, a strange, relatively large object was seen flying through the air, coming towards him. While it was hard to see what it was, Peter knew. Or more to the point, his body knew as he leaped through the air and opened his jaw wide, grabbing the flying object with his mouth. He immediately started to rip it apart with his two front teeth and claws, pinning it to the floor. Out of the tunnel, Logan appeared with a student on his back. He placed it on the floor and took a few steps back. "I know this might be disrespectful, but you are already dead. I promise I will find out who your family is and treat them well. They will live a life of happiness due to your help for as long as I am alive." The two boys continued to run through the town at breaking speed. On the way to the tower, they hadn't seen any high-level beasts. Quinn was now sure of it. There was nothing left underground that was stronger than the king-tier beast. With this thought in his head, he was able to freely run as fast as he could toward Peter. He was worried about what could happen, mostly since he was with the others, and worried about what would happen if the travelers were to find out and get involved. Following closely behind, Fex was struggling to keep up. I was right. He has grown stronger at a crazy pace. He's a lot faster than me, and I can barely keep up anymore. But how? Nothing I can think of can make sense anymore. If I want to find out the truth, there's only one thing I can do. Ask. This time, though, I won't ask for someone else. Fex was always hesitant to ask Quinn this question, and before he didn't know why, but now he did. It was because he felt guilty. Thinking about asking the question in the back of his head, he knew he had an ulterior motive. It was as if he was trying to find some secret information to bring back to his family. Now he no longer cared and had decided, no matter what, he wouldn't tell anyone about Quinn. Right now he wanted to find out for himself, for his curiosity. Once they were out of this place, Fex wanted to find out secrets about Quinn. Suddenly, Quinn stopped in his tracks. He had completely slowed down and was no longer running at full speed. "What's wrong?" Fex asked. Truthfully, Fex was out of breath, but seeing that Quinn was fine, he tried his best to hide that he was tired. As soon as Quinn turned away, he would start panting. He still had his pride and didn't want to show that he was now weaker than his friend. There were two reasons why Quinn had stopped. The first was that Quinn felt that Peter was no longer hungry. The pain he was feeling up to this point had disappeared. Quinn found it hard to believe that Peter would have been able to eat someone in front of the travelers. He could tell they were strong. "Thank you, Logan," Quinn said under his breath. He didn't know why, but he had a hunch that if anyone could solve the problem, it would have been him. The second reason for stopping was that Quinn could sense and smell a familiar presence. It didn't take long, and soon Fex could smell who it was as well. "You always seem to be in interesting places, Quinn. I think I should start putting a tracker on you and follow you everywhere." A slightly older bald man came out of one of the buildings with his trusty blade by his side. "Ah, it's the teacher," Fex said and pointed. "You should show some respect, young boy. Right now I'm more than just your teacher, but your commanding officer," Leo said. "But I'm happy you're safe. I'm here to search for the remaining students. Your friends who were with you have already been escorted outside to the surface. They returned to the shelter with the rest of the students, and they informed me of this place." Just then Leo stopped mid-sentence. It was strange, and the other two were wondering what happened. Not only had he stopped mid-sentence, but Leo was utterly frozen. It was as if he wasn't even breathing anymore. "Quickly!" Leo shouted. "We must get out of here and run!" "What's wrong?" Quinn asked, genuinely concerned. His teacher had always been so composed. Even when going up against the Dalki, he never once ran away, but Quinn was sure of it. Leo had said, "we," which included himself. "There is something down here, something incredibly powerful. I can sense its aura. We have to leave now." Something powerful, Quinn thought. They had already killed the king-tier beast, so Leo couldn't be talking about that. And while exploring the whole place, they had found nothing, and Quinn was unable to sense anything. So what was this powerful being or thing Leo was talking about?
Please subscribe to the Pocket FM YouTube channel and press the bell icon for instant notification. Check out our channel for more such exciting shows.